In the dead of night, June 12, 1994, a scream shattered the silence of upscale Brentwood, Los Angeles. By morning, two bodies lay lifeless in a pool of crimson. Nicole Brown Simpson, the glamorous ex-wife of football legend O.J. Simpson, and Ronald Goldman, a waiter with dreams bigger than his paycheck. Their throats were slashed, their lives stolen in a frenzy of violence. The question wasn't just who did it, but why did the world explode when O.J., the beloved all-American hero, was named the prime suspect? Was this a crime of passion, a racial conspiracy, or something darker lurking beneath the glitz of fame? The trial that followed didn't just divide a city, it tore a nation apart, exposing truths no one wanted to face. The clock struck 10:15 p.m., that fateful Sunday, when neighbors in Brentwood's elite enclave first heard a dog's frantic barking. At 875 South Bundy Drive, Nicole's white Akita, Kato, paced anxiously, its paws stained with blood. A passerby, Sukru Boztepe, followed the dog's cries to a grisly scene at midnight. Nicole, 35, sprawled at the foot of her condo's steps, her throat cut so deeply her head was nearly severed. Nearby, Ron Goldman, 25, lay crumpled, stabbed over 20 times in a desperate struggle. Blood trails snaked across the pavement, pooling under the jasmine bushes. Police arrived at 12:10 a.m., June 13, 1994, their flashlights cutting through the humid night. The condo, a chic two-story haven, was now a slaughterhouse. Nicole's children, Sydney, 8, and Justin, 5, slept upstairs, oblivious to the horror below. By 2:00 a.m., detectives turned their gaze to O.J. Simpson, Nicole's ex-husband, whose name still gleamed on NFL record books. O.J., 46, lived just 2 miles away at 360 North Rockingham Avenue, in a sprawling Tudor mansion. At 5:00 a.m., Detective Mark Fuhrman knocked on O.J.'s door. No answer. A white Ford Bronco parked askew caught their eye. Blood smears dotted its handle. Inside the estate, a single leather glove stiff with dried blood lay near the guest house. It matched one found at Nicole's condo, soaked in her blood and Ron's. O.J. wasn't home. He'd caught a red-eye to Chicago at 11:45 p.m., claiming a golf trip. Suspicion thickened like fog. O.J. returned to L.A. at 12:45 p.m. on June 13th, greeted not by fans but by handcuffs. He seemed shaken, his alibi flimsy. He'd been at home, he said, packing for Chicago, maybe taking a shower. But a limo driver, Alan Park, waiting outside O.J.'s mansion at 10:55 p.m., swore he saw a shadowy figure slip into the house just before O.J. emerged, sweaty and rushed. Blood evidence piled up. Drops in O.J.'s foyer, a sock in his bedroom soaked with Nicole's DNA. And those gloves, one at the crime scene, one at his estate. The prosecution, led by Marsha Clark, painted a picture of jealous rage. O.J. and Nicole's marriage had crumbled by 1992, marred by domestic calls to 911. In 1989, O.J. pleaded no contest to spousal abuse after leaving Nicole bruised. Friends said Nicole feared him, her diary noting threats. He's going to kill me one day. Yet the defense, a legal dream team featuring Johnny Cochran and Robert Shapiro, spun a different tale, one of systemic corruption. On June 17, 1994, the world watched, breathless, as O.J., charged with double murder, led police on a surreal 90-minute chase in that white Bronco, driven by friend Al Cowlings. Over 95 million viewers tuned in, some cheering, others horrified, as O.J. clutched a gun, threatening to end it all. The chase ended at his mansion, O.J. surrendering with a whimper. It wasn't just a fugitive fleeing, it was a symbol, a black icon defying a system many felt was rigged. The trial began January 24, 1995, in LA's Superior Court, Judge Lance Ito presiding. Every moment was televised, a circus of egos and errors. The prosecution's case seemed airtight. DNA linked O.J. to the scene with a 1 in 57 billion chance of error. A bloody shoe print matched his rare Bruno Magli loafers. But the defense struck back, exposing LAPD's sloppy evidence handling. Detective Fuhrman, a key witness, was caught on tape spewing racial slurs, boasting of planting evidence in past cases. Cochran's mantra, "If it doesn't fit, you must acquit," came alive when O.J. tried on the gloves in court on June 15, 1995. They didn't fit, or so it seemed, his hands awkwardly stiff. Was it a masterstroke or a stunt? The jury, mostly black and skeptical of police, leaned toward doubt. Racial fault lines cracked open. Polls showed 67% of black Americans believed O.J. was framed, while 62% of white Americans saw him as guilty. The trial wasn't just about evidence, it was theater. Kato Kalin, O.J.'s quirky house guest, bumbled through testimony about hearing thumps near the guest house at 10:50 p.m. Nicole's sister Denise wept recounting O.J.'s controlling fury. A neighbor, Robert Heidstra, heard shouts and a gate slam at 10:35 p.m., pinning the murder window tight. Yet gaps persisted. No murder weapon was found, though prosecutors pointed to a knife O.J. bought weeks earlier. Blood samples sat in a van for hours, risking contamination. The defense claimed a conspiracy. Foreman planted the glove. The blood was tampered with. The system wanted O.J. down. By September 1995, the jury was weary, deliberating just 4 hours before their verdict on October 3, 1995. Not guilty. Cheers erupted in some corners, silence in others. O.J. walked free, but the ghosts of Bundy Drive lingered. What drove the killer that night? Criminology offers a lens into the abyss. Dr. Reed Malloy, a forensic psychologist, studies intimate partner homicides, noting that jealousy often festers into obsession. If O.J. was guilty, Nicole's new life, dating, thriving, could have ignited a narcissistic wound. Malloy's research shows 60% of spousal murders stem from possessiveness, the killer unable to let go. O.J.'s history fits. Court records from 1989 detail him grabbing Nicole's throat, her screams echoing. Yet, if framed, as the defense argued, the case exposes a different psychology, confirmation bias. Detectives, burned by past scandals, might have zeroed in on O.J., ignoring other leads. Fuhrman's bigotry, caught on tape, fueled distrust. Studies by Dr. Saul Kassan show police tunnel vision taints 40% of wrongful convictions, rushing to judgment. From a behavioral angle, O.J.'s charisma was a double-edged sword. Dr. Robert Hare, a psychopathy expert, describes how charm masks manipulation. O.J.'s public persona, smiling, magnetic, clashed with 911 tapes of his rage. If guilty, he fits Hare's profile. Grandiose, remorseless, a chameleon blending into fame. But innocence shifts the lens to societal projection. Black communities, scarred by LAPD's brutality, think Rodney King's 1991 beating, saw O.J. as a scapegoat. Criminologist Darnell Hunt's 1995 study found 80% of black LA residents distrusted police, priming them to doubt the case. White audiences, per Pew Research, leaned on DNA, seeing science as truth. This split wasn't just about facts, it was identity, history, pain. The trial's chaos reflects group dynamics. Juror studies by Dr. Shari Diamond show diverse juries deliberate longer, but here, racial mistrust sped things up. Jurors later admitted feeling pressure, media glare, community expectations. If O.J. killed, his motive might trace to what psychologists call abandonment rage, per Dr. John Livesley's work on personality disorders. Losing Nicole's loyalty could have snapped a fragile ego. If not, the case indicts a system where evidence bends to narrative. Either way, the murders reveal a truth. Humans cling to stories that fit their worldviews. Facts be damned. 20 years later, Brentwood's scars remain. OJ's life unraveled. A 2008 robbery conviction landed him 33 years, paroled in 2017. He died in 2024, prostate cancer claiming him at 76. Nicole and Ron's families grieved privately, their justice a distant dream. Was the glove planted, or did it fit a killer's hand? Did rage drive those stabs, or did a broken system frame a flawed man? The truth hides in shadows, daring us to look closer. What do you think? Did OJ outrun justice, or was he the prey of a deeper conspiracy? Don't forget to like and subscribe to not miss our next exciting videos.